Well, the tech world is talking about Google's biggest deal ever, buying Motorola Mobility for $12.5 billion. And that puts Google in control of Motorola's popular Android phones, jacking up the competition with Apple's iPhone. So the big question is, what does it mean for you? Let's ask early show technology expert Katie Linnendoll, who joins us here this morning. Katie, good morning.
Good morning.
A $12.5 billion deal for Google. What is this? I mean, the significance of this move for the consumer now would be?
Well, we know Google is one of the most powerful and influential companies, but also acquisitions of this nature for Google are not unheard of. Yeah. We've seen them in the past in a lot of their deals that you probably have heard of, YouTube, AdMob, and also Android. They have put a lot of money out there, but this, as you said, is their largest acquisition to date by 4 times. And what I think is interesting is Google is making a push into the hardware world. And picking up Motorola, they're not just picking up phone handsets, they're also picking up tablets, they're picking up cable boxes. And one thing I find very interesting is they're also picking up nearly 24,000 patents. Sounds boring, but for a company like Google in this tech world where everybody's suing everybody, that can be very powerful in terms of legality.
I think people already think Google big enough already. This just kind of adds to their gravitas. I mean, it's a massive, massive conglomerate now, isn't it, with this acquisition?
It is, and I think for the Android world, we're going to hear a lot of, if you're not familiar with Android and Google go hand in hand. That is their open platform for running. Think of like when you run Windows on a computer, if you're running Windows 7, that's the operating system that's powering your computer. So to actually move into a space now, if they can find a way with Motorola to combine software and hardware and powerfully and it's seamlessly integrated, that's powerful and that gives them a lot of control.
Okay, now Motorola, all their phones, they use this Android system?
A lot of them do. There's actually about 22 different devices that they're currently powering off of Android. But I think where this becomes interesting is they're not the only manufacturer working off of Android. Samsung, HTC, if you're going to tell me that they didn't perk up yesterday and say, hey, this is kind of a surprise. I didn't know that Google was going to enter into this world solely with Motorola. I don't think they're going to stop manufacturing devices with Android. However, I think a lot of us were surprised by the acquisition.
Okay, so we see that this is, from a significance level, it's a massive deal for Google, for Motorola. If I'm a consumer right now, let's say I've got the iPhone or I've got the Android, what does it mean for me?
I think this is healthy competition. I think we're going to obviously see a lot of Motorola Google devices, and it's going to drive better handsets in the marketplace. But I think what's really powerful as a consumer is we walk into a store and there's this barrage and influx of devices, so many to choose from. But ultimately, there's 2 platforms that are running the show. You're an Apple user or you're a Google user. We can talk about RIM, BlackBerry, and Windows, but ultimately, at the end of the day, right now, what kind of user are you?
Great. Well, you know what? I was confused coming into this segment. Now I'm just a little bit more confused.
Sorry. Trying to shed some light.
You know too much. It just goes right over my head. Thank you so much, though. Good to see you here.